Hey, brother sewing and crafting family, Angela Wolf here, and we are back with another episode of At Your Side Virtually. I'm very excited for this one, and I know you are too. In fact, this is perfect. I just received a couple of emails from a few people, and they said, I'm trying to do edge-to-edge quilting, and something isn't working right. They were a little confused on how to go to the next level. Well, guess what? We've got Kim with us today, and she's going to show you a little bit of edge-to-edge and a little bit of that new great foot that we have with the Aveneer, the stitch regulator. So pop in, say hi. Yes, we are live. And someone said technical difficulties. Well, we both just sat there and it wasn't going live. So either, it's kind of warm out. I think Maxine's out there playing with the lines. That's all I can say. So it's so great to see you all. Welcome. We are live streaming on Brothers Sewing Facebook and YouTube pages. And Kim Montegnese is in the house today. And I know you love her. She always has the coolest projects. So let's bring her up. Kim, how are you?
Hi, Angela. It's been a while.
I know. I'm so excited to see you. I'm so excited for many reasons. One, we haven't seen you in a bit. And happy spring. You're over in Ohio, correct?
Right.
So are you getting a little bit of this spring that we're getting? Like yesterday was 60 and today's 40. So, I mean, it totally messes up your wardrobe.
Well, it's not snow.
That's true. That's true. I'm very excited for our project today. Well, it's more of a tutorial, but the Aveneer, everybody's been so excited about it. And we're just starting to drop in some of these shows in here to show them how to use it. So the good news is we also have a lot of Luminaire users, and the edge-to-edge is very similar. The projector's a little bit smaller, but it's very similar. And then you have the new stitch regulator foot. So I know today's going to be a very exciting show for everyone.
Well, I hope so.
Everybody's saying hi to you. Hi.
Hi.
One of these times, if you're in the chat right now, while she gets started, y'all have to just leave a note. What's your favorite Kim episode? I have like 3 of them, but I have to ask, how's the new dog? It's not really new anymore. Isn't he like a year now?
He turned 1 in February. So he's still a big baby. He's like a Muppet. He's actually on a play date today. So otherwise he'd be here jumping up in my lap. And we took him to Florida last week. It was my 50th class reunion in Jupiter, Florida.
Oh my goodness. Well, what a good place to have that.
So we drove down. He was wonderful in the car. He was the trooper. He was just so wonderful. And we had a good time. We had a nice Airbnb with a pool that he loved. And we just had a great time catching up with, a lot of old people there at the reunion.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Well, I know the weather was good down there because I was there too. I was just a little further south than you, down in the Keys, playing with the manatees. I don't know what's more fun, hanging out with old people or the manatee. Which one you want?
Well, they were my friends.
And I think I go with my friends.
They didn't look any older. I was, some of them, it's like I looked at the pictures and it's like, you haven't even changed a minute.
You have not changed a minute. And you know what? Old is anyways. It's just a number. It's how you feel, right?
It is.
I think the sewing keeps us creative and young.
I think so too. Keep your brain going. Like, what else can I do with this? And I love these machines because we can always, push them to the limit. I've got some stuff behind me. If we have time, I'll show you. I have my daughter's getting married, and I took all those wedding dresses and I've been cutting them up and turning them into getting ready robes.
Oh my God. You have to share that. We have to keep time at the end. I will give you an alarm. How we need 10 minutes for this, or how much time? Because we want to see that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so fun, and I did embroidery on them and embellishment. It's so much fun, and you buy a dress at the resale store for $25, and they're terrible 1980s dresses. But man, wait till you see these robes; they're fabulous.
I can't wait. So everyone's going to be in suspicion until the end. So guess what? Now it's school time where you have to watch what's happening to the machine. And at the end, you get your inspiration, right?
Right.
All right, Kim, I'll let you take it away. What do you want to start with?
Okay, I'm going to start with edge to edge. So I'm going to go over to the hooping area. So I'm going to say goodbye for just a moment and go back to the hooping area.
Sounds good. I'll take you out. We can hear you. We just can't. They can't see you until you're there. So just give me a thumbs up. So while she's switching her camera view so you all don't get seasick, Everyone's saying what their favorite project. They love Kim's jackets. Yes, she has such a creative spark. I agree, Patty. I agree. And so, just out of curiosity, how many of you have tried the edge to edge? Because I have just finished my second piece of fabric on the Aveneer. One's denim, one is cotton, and I'm going to make something out of it. So mine's a little different. I'm not doing the actual quilting. I'm designing fabric. So, all right, Kim, I can see you. You want me to bring you up?
Wait a minute. I'm having technical difficulties.
Hey, guess what? Your camera's sideways. We can see perfect.
I'm missing one of those, those twisty things that allow you to raise it up and move things around. So, okay, so this is our hoop. Can you see it?
Yeah, we sure can.
Okay, so that's our hoop. And as you can see now, we have a top and a bottom little clamp. Also, on the inside of the hoop, there's these little notches on either side. So I like to make up a little poem, not a poem, but something to remind me. These are going to be hooped a little bit different. So I like to say you what's the word now? I forgot it already. You lock it, and then walk it. So I'll show you what that means in just a second. So the quilt I'm going to show you, just to be real graphic here, is just, it's just a plain piece of muslin, but I measured it ahead of time. So it's 27 inches across and it's 23.5 inches down the side. And all of this around the edge is border. So I'm going to lay this on here on top of the hoop. It has batting in it. I'm going to hoop this. And it's going to show you on the machine how to hoop it. But I'm going to, on purpose, do it a little bit crooked. A little bit crooked. So I'm going to put that, there's a little notch right in the top here. I'm going to put that notch right at the top and push it. And I'm going to close that latch. And then I'm going to walk my hands all the way down. Make sure this one's open all the way. I'm going to walk it all the way down so that the edges of the hoop are catching in those notches. And when I get the last one down here, I'm going to go ahead and close that last notch latch. I can't think of the word. My brain is
The latch. That looks good, Kim.
Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the machine.
Kim, what size? I know there's some new people here and they're going to be like, what in the world? That's the biggest hoop ever. Could you give them the size of that hoop?
I can. It is 11 and 5/8 by 18?
Yeah, 18 and a quarter, I think.
18 and a quarter, yeah. So let me come over here real quick.
While she's switching screens, I'll take her down. Oh, Patty's got the best idea ever. Patty's over on YouTube. She says, hey, brother, would you do a giveaway, an all-expense paid trip to Shadow Kim for one day? I'd take that.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, definitely.
Oh, Barbara said she's done a ton of edge to edge, or some, on her Luminaire, but not Aveneer yet. So, Barbara, now you have a bigger hoop. You can get it done even faster. That's always the best part. Miss Maureen said she's done it many times on her Luminaire. That's awesome. Yolanda says yes. I know. I was thinking that's a great idea. Now, by the way, brother did not offer that. That was just a suggestion from Patty. Full disclosure. I don't need to get in trouble for giving stuff away, right? Although it's a lot of fun. All right. She's almost set up, so just hold tight.
Almost. I wish I could have like a fancy setup with overheads, and I want to spend time at Angela's studio and figure out how to do all the fancy stuff. Okay, can you see all right?
Yeah, we can see. I'll bring you up.
Okay. Let me move back maybe just a little.
I'll take the banner down. That way, that'll give you a little more room there too.
Okay.
There. That's good.
It's fine?
Yep, looks good. What do you all think? Can you all see okay? Yep.
All right, let's see if we can get some more light over here. Okay. So when you first decide to start doing your edge to edge, you know how to hoop it now. You latch it, you lock it and walk it. And then we're going to come over here to embroidery. And of course, you always have to, okay. We're going to come over here to category Q, which is quilting. I'm going to go to 04, which is our new edge to edge menu. And these last 5 across the bottom are the new ones, and they're so cute. They are so stinking cute. I have a whole quilt I want to do with its little hearts because it's a heart quilt. Right now, I think I'm going to choose the little seashells because I'm too anxious for summer to come. I can't wait. And then press set. Okay, so now right up here where it says number 1, it's shadowed, so that's highlighted. It wants to know how wide across is your quilt. So mine is 27 inches. So I'm going to press 27 and I'm going to set that. Now it goes down here to number 2. How tall is your quilt? It was 25 and a half. So it's 25.5. I'm going to go ahead and set that. Now it wants to know which hoop are you using. So I have this gigantic hoop, so why would I not use that? So I'm going to put it there, but I'll show you. You can use any quilt, any hoop you want, and it just tells you here how many rows, how many columns. I mean, if you wanted to do this in the 4x4, you're welcome to do that. So I'm coming right back here. I'm just going to use the 11 5/8 by 18 1/4. And that gives me the fewest amount of hoopings, and it's just easier. So now I think you can kind of tell if you can. Let me see on the on the screen here. Sometimes the way these come up, they're tiled. They kind of make kind of a an unintended secondary pattern. So now you have the option to flip them, rotate them, to make sure that you don't end up with kind of a weird little thing. See, now they're all the same. That little shell is in the upper left on all of them. But if you touch this one, see how they've kind of mirror imaged. And now you're getting this little point here. You have to just kind of look to see. This is almost like a little heart.
Ooh, I like that. I like that mirror image one, Kim.
Wasn't that pretty?
Yeah, that's really cool.
So you can kind of see this one is reversed. This is the top and the bottom. So you can kind of see they're all different. So Angela liked that one. So let's just go with that. So I'm going to say, okay. So I'm ready to go. I'm going to touch next. And it's showing you, it's going to start in the upper left and it's going to go to the right. It's going to drop down to the left. It's left to right, just like you're reading. A total of 6 hoopings. It has the blue embroidery thread. I'm using lime green today, so I'm going to choose the lime green. Sometimes I choose a different color, not because that's the color I'm going to use, but when I save this to memory, I want to be able to tell them apart. Sometimes I'll use the same pattern, but on different quilts, different sizes. So I want to make sure that I can tell them apart without having to load the whole thing. So I'm going to choose the green and I'm going to say, okay. You also want to be able to see it on your fabric too, because it's going to illuminate using the projector right onto your fabric. If you come down here, you can choose either just a single stitch or the triple stitch. So if you just want a delicate texture, like a background texture, you can choose the first one. If you want the quilting to actually be the focus of the project, you can do the triple stitch and it'll be a more bold line. So just for today, I'm choosing the single stitch because I want to be able to unhoop and rehoop real quick and show you how to then connect it and then what to do when you get to the end of the row. So we're going to have I'll be able to do a whole row here. So I'm going to save this into the pocket. And it's telling you it's saved into the memory. And then you just say, okay. Now, when I go back to find it, all I have to do, okay, here it is right here. I have another green one, but it's the leaves. This one is the shells. All I have to do is push the first one and say set. And then wait a while. So every time you're going to change hoopings, it's going to show you exactly what to do. So we've done this already. So it's going to show you begin sewing from the upper left corner, attach the embroidery frame in the initial sewing position, which I've already done. Let me put it in the arm here. And then you say, okay. So the first step is you're going to align, there's going to be a little marker projected down onto the fabric, and all you're worried about is that upper corner. Don't worry about anything else. Use the move key patterns to align the upper left corner of the pattern area with the upper left corner marking of the area to be embroidered. So this is all border, and this is the corner. So I'm going to say, okay. It's going to move. So I don't know if you can see that exactly. Okay, so I'm moving. I'm using the key, the arrow keys to move that up. And then I'm going to scoot it over. And now if you could see that better, I'm kind of looking at it. You can't really see it. The little X, the little marker is right here on the intersection where the border comes together. And here's the inner part of the quilt right there. So I'm going to say, okay. And now there's going to be rotate keys, and it's going to want you to match up the little X that's going to be up here and rotate it until it's touching the top edge of the quilt. So I say, okay. And now, oh gosh, it's almost there. So I'm going to rotate it a little bit, oops, up, a little bit back down. And you can get real tiny little movements. And because I put this in a little bit crooked, I wanted you to see exactly what it looks like on the screen. Can you see how it tilted the pattern on the screen? And then I'm going to say, okay. And it's going to take 3 minutes. So if you have anything to do, go ahead and do it for 3 minutes and then come right back.
I know. And you know, it's so fast that when I was doing mine, I thought I'd have more time. I didn't even have time to make a cup of coffee in between those.
Right. I know. I know it does go quick. And that's the fun thing is when you're doing it, it just keeps moving right along. I mean, some of the patterns, depending on how big your hoop is and how small the pattern is, but some of them take a little bit longer, but it's really quick. You can just sit there, rehoop, move it, keep, just spend an afternoon. It goes very quickly.
I love this. So drop your questions below. I know I have a question for you a little bit later on that somebody asked. I'll just ask it now so you remember, but somebody had emailed and said that they were doing a small quilt, and instead of like stopping right now in the middle of your design and turning the machine off and going to bed and getting up the next day, she finished that whole section. And now she's wondering how to get back. So I said, well, we'll talk about it on the show today later on. But when I was doing my fabric, I think I had 12 hoopings, I think, because I did a whole piece. You're going to love it, Kim. It's out of denim, and I did the triple stitch. It was a stretchy fabric. I think I'm going to make a skirt, but now I'm torn because I kind of want a jacket. But either way, I would finish my whole hooping or like in the middle of my hooping, I would stop and then leave. And then when I turn it back on, it would remember where it was instead of finishing that whole one section.
Right. And, to be honest, I've not tried that yet, but I do know how to do it if you've done like, say you have 150 hoopings, you're doing a king size something or other, and you're at a hooping number 87, you complete the hooping, and it's like, there's no way I'm staying up all night. I'm not doing this. So it's okay. Just stop and leave it, just leave it in the hoop. And then I'll show you when we get to the end of this, this hooping, I'll show you where you can pick it up.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, there's a thing on the screen that shows you, because I did the same thing too. And I had to keep track and, try to remember how many I did, because I knew I wasn't going to finish it. But I don't even know if the Luminaire has this. It probably does. I just didn't think to find it, but I know now. So I'll share that with you.
That's perfect. Yes, Cindy Ball says, those days are over. Overnighters, LOL.
But if you want to stay up all night,
not as much as I used to.
We'll get on speakerphone and we'll talk all night while we're doing our king size quilts.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is done. Now it's going to make the little arrow at the bottom right here. That's going to be your marker for the next row underneath. So it's making a tiny arrow. And it's saying embroidery is finished. Okay to connect to the next pattern. You say, okay. So now it's telling you to rehoop the fabric to the right side, including the right edge of the pattern on the left in the hoop. So if you can't tell, right along the edge here is some of the stitching that it just didn't on this side. You want to have this little join. There's like a little tail sticking out. You want to make sure that that's exactly sticking into the new hooping. So Angela, if you want to, I don't know if you want to wait for me, but I'm going to run over to the other area here and I'll just switch it. We'll keep talking.
Yeah, we'll wait for you. I'm switching it out. Barbara says that new feature was on the 3rd upgrade for the Luminaire.
Okay, good. Perfect.
I know. I love it when the brother fans know so much, because if I can't remember something, they always remember for me.
Yeah, they know more than we do, probably.
So I know, Laura, it is pretty. So we're waiting for Kim to come back. She's just rehooping that, and then she's going to come back to the machine. If you have questions, drop them in the chat. I just had my alarm go off. Did you hear the alarm? It reminded me that it's tax day. Oh,
oh no.
So everyone, don't forget, if you owe money or your taxes, make sure it's in the mail and get it in there by the end of the day if you're in the USA. Oh, Susie, you're sitting on Maui Beach drinking coffee, watching Angela and Kim. So it doesn't get any better than that. It does get better than that, Susie, if I was on the beach with you.
What beach is that?
Maui. She's in Hawaii.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Hang on, it just popped out.
Okay, I'll bring you back out.
Okay.
That's just because we're live. Patty, did brother come out with any new magnetic hoops for the Aveneer? Not that I know of, but I love my brother magnetic hoops. In fact, there's a new project for those of you in the Aveneer. There's a new project that's dropping this afternoon. It'll probably be this evening. The videos we're uploading this morning. So it's a super cute table runner, something for spring. It includes designing using the built-in quilt designs, using applique, turning into trapunto, and then we're doing quilt sashing all the way around. And then on the back side, we're making an applique with tiny, tiny letters. I can't tell you much more than that, but it's dropping in this afternoon. So all of you Aveneer people that are in the masterclass, don't forget to pop over there later today or tomorrow. I'll send an email when it's up for you too. All right, Kim, I think I see you in there.
Okay. Yeah, I was just in a hurry, so I didn't have the latch all the way secured.
There you go.
Okay, so now we're going to start the second one. So in the hoop, I'm looking for this, a little tail that's sticking out. It's over here. I'll say, okay. It's showing me what it's going to do. All we care about is making sure that that connects where the little X is. We're not caring about anything else, but it's projected down onto the fabric. But don't panic, it's fine. And again, I did it kind of crooked. I did it crooked, so you can see how it straightens it out if you're a terrible hooper. Okay.
Susie says on my 65th birthday, I have a way to go. That's it's her birthday. That I have a ways to go. It means I have to wait like over 10 years, Susie. Might have to be earlier than that.
Now, here's a little trick I learned. When I have my arrow, my little crosshatch, and I have it right over the end of the tail, I don't know if it's because the batting makes the fabric puffy. I like to just check it and put my needle down. See, and I'm off a little bit there. So I'm going to scooch it over. I think the puffiness is a little bit distorted. So I like to just check by putting the needle down.
That's a great idea, Kim, because I agree. Sometimes after you rehoop, there is some puffiness there, and also where it looks like it's projecting versus the needle can be off like just a millimeter.
Yeah, even if it's one stitch, it doesn't connect. So
right.
Like when I go like this, it looks perfect, but when I let go of it, the puffiness kind of comes up. So I just kind of double check it, make sure that the needle's going to drop in the right spot. Now I say, okay. And then it's going to tell you again, line it up with the top of the border. So I'm saying, okay. And I'm going to go up a little bit, maybe one more. Perfect. Yes. Okay, perfect. I'm going to say, okay. Put the foot down. And it's going to join that pattern together. And it's going to stitch out another one.
Three minutes. Everyone grab their coffee, although there isn't even enough time for that.
Oh, hang on. Something. Let's see. It dropped the thread somehow. Hang on. Let's go back.
Yeah, McKaylee, that is such a great idea. The needle dropped is a great tip. It's such a great tip. Great tip.
Okay.
So did you see how quickly and easily it was to go back a few stitches? Super simple.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know. That just didn't catch right there. Yeah, if you haven't had to do that before, it's right here, just to the right of this little scissor icon. There's a needle with a plus and a minus. When you tap that, you'll have a choice of either going back backward or forward, one stitch, 10 stitches, 100 stitches, or 1,000 stitches. And, sometimes, like if the thread is shredding and it just looks bad, you can just back it up. Or if the thread breaks or you run out of bobbin thread or, just anything like that, you can just back it up. There have been a couple of times when it starts stitching and I just don't like how it looks. The color is off or it blends in too much. I'll just stop it right away and back it up and put a different color on, and it stitches right over the top. I don't have to tear anything out.
It's so quiet.
Isn't
I know.
it?
That's so funny, Sassy. I was sitting here thinking, I'm watching and I'm like, that is so quiet. Sassy said the same thing. Is the machine really so quiet? Yeah, it really is.
It really is. I've had to rely heavily on my stitch monitor because I can't hear it. If I'm just across the same room, my mind is on something else and I keep having to look over to make sure it's running. Or if I go into the other side room to press something, I have to turn the stitch monitor on.
Do you know what I turn on? Is the voice.
Oh, yeah.
And it freaks me out every time, unless I remember that I have it on. But it's usually the next day that the voice decides to activate because I didn't need it previously than that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be funny when we travel all over the world and the only foreign languages we know are sewing terms.
I know.
We'll
Barbara says, but the voice is plenty loud, so don't worry about it.
But we can walk into any restaurant in Europe and speak in, one of the languages and ask them to change the thread color.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Cindy, that's not a power cord. That white cord, that's the foot pedal. She thought that was that the white power.
Here?
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. I had it down in the hole behind the machine, but it made the foot pedal too short and I couldn't keep pressure on it, so I pulled it out.
Hey, Hannah Thread. Sorry. Any tips for keeping it coming up short on the last row? I think she's going to show us that because she's getting ready to go to the last row. And there are two little icons on the screen that will help you squish it different ways. You'll see that in just a second.
Yep, in just 1 second. So I'm going to leave you again.
Okay, while you're leaving, Barbara says she'll be ready to order an embroidery arm at any restaurant in Europe. Oh, that's funny.
I can't wait. We should all go together.
Yes. Hey, Lorraine has a question for you when you come back. Do you have any tips if you're doing edge to edge? What if there's an embroidery design in the center of that? Any tips for going around it? I'm sure she'll have some for you, but we'll save that for the end. All right, let's see. Any other questions while she's dropping that away? Yes, I know. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, the voice feature, you can turn it on and off. And I'm with Kim when I'm in my studio now, and my office where I'm answering emails is way over there, and I can't hear the machine at all. In fact, it is so much quieter. You also have that extra plate in the back, like the little table that just hooks into the back. So to keep that big hoop stabilized, I put the voice on. At first I thought I'm never going to use this. Kind of like I remember years ago on the Dream Machine when the Sew Straight laser light came out. I was like, I'm never going to use that. Oh my gosh, I'd be lost without it. You get used to it, and it really makes life easier. So we'll see. And yeah, she'll show you that at the end too. So I would love to know, those of you that have the Aveneer, do you use the voice or you don't? And if you do, is it a specific thing, like waiting for the embroidery to tell you to change your thread? All right, Kim's back.
Okay. Here we go.
The last section.
Okay, so here we are again. It's telling you to connect it right where the little tail is. So I'm going to say, okay. I'm going to wait for it to move. And then I'm going to use the move keys. Okay, a little bit this way. And again, I'm going to put my needle down. One more, maybe two. Okay. Now it's saying, let's put the needle back up. Now it's saying just connect the top part. That's step number 1. Connect the top at the border. And then it's going to have us scooch this to the side and make it even with the side of the border. Or if it hangs over the border a little bit, you'll have the opportunity to squish it back in. So I'll show you that. Okay, so now first I have to make it even with the top of the border. Oops. Get carried away here. Okay. Now mine is hanging over the edge about maybe ½ an inch from the border. Here's the line here. So I have to squish it in. So right down here in the middle, There's a box with an arrow to the right and a box with an arrow to the left. The boxes below that are for the bottom row. When you get to the bottom, you can touch this and just tab down to stretch it out to meet the bottom border, or squish it back up if it extends beyond. So that's what these are for, the bottom row. But I need to squish mine in a little bit more. So I'm going to just touch this until it lines up with that. And then actually, once I did that, it looks like I need to bring it down a little bit more. So you can just make this so perfect. It's beautiful. Okay. Put the foot down and sew that last little bit. So while this is sewing, did that answer the question?
I'm going to check. I'm going to assume it answered the question, but we'll let her answer. Miss Thread. All right. So any questions on here? This is very simple. And those, I guess, instead of 2 keys, there's really 4, but one goes bigger, smaller, one goes this way. So 2 angles, 4 keys. But those are really important. And I think I've watched a few people with the edge to edge, and they'll send me an email with a question, and I'll say, have you checked out those keys right there? I have to take a photo of it. I think I have the photo saved on my phone still. This was when the Luminaire came out, because I don't think they realize that that's how you squish that or shrink it or make it longer, just so it fits right.
Yeah, I didn't understand that at first for a long time. It just, Jane, I think you have Jane on quite often. I was calling Jane and I'm like, I don't have those buttons, Jane. She's like, yes, you do.
Oh, that's so cute. Yes, you do.
You do. It's right. But I was on the wrong screen or something. I don't know what I was doing wrong. But it was just...
It doesn't show up right away. It does not show up on that first hooping. It doesn't show up until you might need it.
Exactly. Yeah. When you're at the end, like, because it calculated that I'm going to have 3 hoopings across. And when it got to the 3rd hooping, that's when I needed it. And again, at the bottom, it'll still show up because I'll be coming to the bottom again. But on the last hooping that I'll do on this, I'm going to need it for the bottom edge and the side edge.
Yeah. I love that the machine does the math for you. Even in the project that's dropping this afternoon has quilt sashing. You just have to measure, and as long as you can measure accurately, the machine does all the math for you. It gives you those lineups, the points and the angles, and all you have to do is pay attention. And if you're not paying attention, it even writes everything down. You just have to read angle, this point right here.
And look at the picture. I mean, the picture shows you.
Yeah.
So I just love that. So this is almost done. So I'll just pull this out of the hoop and I'll show you where the joins were and where the edges ended up. It's just perfect. I did this for the first time in front of, I was doing a demo at a consumer show, you know, like Rusty Barn or OSQ, something like that. And it was the first time I did it. And there were people watching. And it worked. It was perfect.
You're like, thank heavens.
Oh, yeah. Woo. Okay, now it's making its little mark at the end.
Very simple. So Kim, do you have any tips for someone who maybe has an embroidery design in the center, or they have an applique in the center and they're doing this edge to edge? They'd have to change it up a little bit if they didn't want that edge to edge to go across that design. Do you agree?
I agree. I don't know, Angela. I'm stumped. I know when we do the fill patterns, you can erase it in Design Center. Like you can erase over where you don't want it to sew.
Right. That's what I was thinking too. Or if you had the embroidery design, you can put the outline around it, send it over to my Design Center. But when you're doing edge to edge, there's really no way, unless you skip one hooping, and you know where your design is. And if you have to skip 1 or 2 hoopings and do the rest, then you'll have to go back. You could do free motion. You could still make this work in a different way. You'd have to get really creative, Lorraine.
Yeah. And that's the only thing I was thinking too, is just skip a hooping. And then when you come back to it, just rehoop that one section, bring in, depending on what it is, you know, you could bring in a shape and do like a fill pattern around the shape so it doesn't go over the top of the design, or you could fill it and then erase around. I don't know. There's a lot of ways in Design Center, but edge to edge, I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree. But there are options to make it different. All right, well, I'll let you keep going.
Okay, so this is finished, and what it's telling you is to go down to the next row, and I'm going to show you what's on the next row. So as it was going, the very last thing it did was to sew this little marker. So you're going to line it up again. So this part is going to be in the hoop. And this is going to be in the hoop, the little mark. And you're going to line it up again, just like we did before. And it's going to stitch that out. And then when you measure the bottom part, let me see if I can get it flat so you can see it better. When you get to the bottom, if your design is projected beyond this, you'll have the opportunity to squish it up. Or if it's just short, you can stretch it down a little bit so that it's going to match right up there. So here was the other question too. Let me just go back here. I'm going to pretend. Okay, we're just going to yada, 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 gotta. Okay. I'm going to pretend that we're stitching almost all of this. So I'm going to advance it 1,000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 1,755 stitches. So I'm going to take it down to the last stitch. I'm just putting some fabric here so it'll have something to stitch into. I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to just let it stitch one stitch so that you can see where to go. Embroidery is finished, connect to the next pattern. Okay. Rehoop, you say, okay, we're pretending we did that. So if you didn't stitch this, where did the buttons go? Let's go back here. Let's say we just quit in the middle. No, wait, I can go to memory.
Yeah, go to pocket.
Yeah, go to pocket instead. I don't have to set it up again. Let's just choose a different one. Set it up. Okay, set. Okay. Okay. Yada, 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 yada. Okay. All right. 1,100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, right down here. Can you see at the bottom? Let me try to get it closer. All right. Right there. It says segment.
Mm-hmm.
Segment 1 of 15. So if I remember that when I got too tired to stay up anymore, I was on segment, excuse me, segment 3. I could write that on a sticky note or something that I was on segment, getting ready to start segment 3 of 15. And then when you tap that, you say, okay, and it'll change the hooping for you, and you can pick up where you left off. But that's where it's going to be, in the lower left-hand corner.
That's perfect. So, Cindy, what she's showing is that earlier someone had asked, a couple days ago, somebody had emailed and said, hey, I don't want to stay up all night working on this project. Now, if you stop in the middle and you turn the machine back on, it will, mine remembered at least where I was. But if you finish that whole hooping and then you turn the machine off and then you come back, you have to go back in and find out where you ended. So just try to remember what hooping you're on, and she showed you right there at the bottom is how you can get back there. Very simple.
It'll say segments.
Yeah.
Okay, what time? Oh, we have 10 minutes. So let's do real quick. I'm going to switch over and show this, show the intelligent stitch regulator.
Oh, yes.
Here's the little notch right here. How to push out the foot. Pops right back in. The laser light thingy is here on the bottom. And there are 3 feet that come with it. I had all 3 of them sitting right here. Where's the other? Here it is. So we have the open toe, the circle, and then this one. So all we're going to do is take this off, take off the other foot. I'm actually going to go home now, touch sewing. And I had a funny question. It's like, I can't find it on my screen. I can't find, you know, the stitch regulator, and you won't find it on the screen until you plug it in. So you go ahead and screw it in just like you screw in all the other feet or ankles. And then you have to plug it in. This little tail right here plugs in to the back, just like the old embroidery feet used to do. Once you plug that in, now you can see, you can start free motion quilting basting with a stitch regulator. So that's going to pop up after you plug it in, and it comes up automatically. You can see right here. So on this one, we have it tells you exactly what to do. Of course, it tells you which foot to use. You can use your guidelines, your guideline markers. You can change the colors of your guideline markers if you like. You can change the height of the foot, which I did because this is pre-washed, super heavy cotton batting. So in mode number 1, this is the intermittent mode, and it says when there's no movement of the cloth, the needle stops at the top and the needle drops after moving. So that's the intermittent mode. Oops, wait a minute. Go. There we go. Well, my bobbin thread came. And the needle broke. Perfect.
You know why? Because I'm supposed to be telling you there's an alarm going off so you can show us those dresses.
Okay. Well, let me just go through this for a second. So I did raise the height of the foot, and you can change the shift, the tension if you want, the length. This one also does a zigzag. So if you like to do thread painting, which I love to do, I use the zigzag a lot for shading over the top of organza or tulle or something like that. So this one, when you stop moving, it stops moving. When you start moving again, it'll start moving again. On continuous, when there's no movement, the needle keeps going up and down in the same spot. This is nice for when you're doing sharp points. So you're free motion, you come up to make a star, you stop, let it tack that in, come back down. You have a perfect sharp little edge on that. I love that. It'll also make your lock stitch as well. Number 3 is the basting mode. And this is so when you move your fabric, it's only going to make a stitch about every inch. You just keep moving it. It's going to make a stitch every inch so that you can do your machine basting. And it warns you, don't put your hand under the needle. So that's always helpful. Once you get this set up for your specific project, again, if you're not fond of staying up all night, you can put that in your memory so that you don't have to figure it all out again. If you have fussy fabric or thick batting or whatever it is, you can just get it all set up for yourself and save it into the memory. And you can change the thread color, the projection, the projected thread color. Also, there's a projected line here so that when you go off the edge, it's going to stop sewing. So it recommends that you leave some fabric off to the side or at the top so that when you're sewing, you don't want it to run off the edge. It'll automatically stop for you. So that's a quick rundown. I'm sorry I took so long on the other.
Hey, you know what? The other one is important because a lot of people like to see that. And also this foot is so much fun. We're going to have some more tutorials coming up with it as well. So that's a good like rundown of it.
Yeah. So
any questions? Any questions? Drop them in the chat. We have to have you before you leave show us one of those bathrobes.
Okay. So she's getting married in November.
Probably not called a bathrobe. What do you call it?
A get ready robe.
A get ready robe. I need one of those.
So this is the Flower Girl. I'm just kind of auditioning fabrics and laces for the Flower Girl dress here.
I love it.
So I'm just kind of auditioning. So here's a couple. They're not done yet.
Those are beautiful. So this is all refashioning using old dresses.
Yep, old wedding dresses.
Wow. Oh, look at that with all the lace. Do you know how much those would cost to buy, or even just the fabric?
I know. That's what I said. For $25. Seriously.
Oh my goodness.
So, I mean, I asked permission first. So she has 3 people in the wedding party plus herself. Look at this. It's so pretty.
Oh, gorgeous.
And then the little trims, for the sleeves. Where's the sleeve? There it is.
That's beautiful.
And then last night I cut this off of the veil. Where am I looking here? There. I cut this off of the veil to put around the front and around the hem.
Wow.
And there's our new Mickey.
I absolutely love this. Are you guys watching this? This is such a cool idea. We all talk about sustainable fashion. How can you use some of these great ideas? You always have great ideas. Your jackets, what we've watched you change with all your jackets. I know, Glenda, I was thinking the same thing. Wow, everybody's saying gorgeous. So nice to see you all. See, when we show beautiful things, everybody leaves a comment, and I get to see who's all watching. It's so nice to see everybody.
And here's the boneyard.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of stuff over there.
It's a lot of stuff, a lot of junk.
Oh my goodness. I don't think it's junk. I think it's going to be used in something. Wouldn't you all say?
I can't wait. I saw a cute denim jacket that said on the back, it says, "Mother of the bride, I loved her first."
Oh,
I might have to do
that. Star, everybody's saying, I love it. I love it. I know. I agree. Oh, Kim, thanks for sharing that with us.
Oh, my pleasure.
How long is it going to take you to finish those?
They're almost done, actually. I did them. I worked on them a little bit yesterday. I had my this side of the sewing room redone yesterday, or starting Monday. So this whole countertop has been
it looks good.
So it was just new. They finished on, no, wait, what day is today? Tuesday?
Tax day.
Yeah, that's right. So she finished it on Friday.
That's gorgeous. So you have all your hoops hanging. Is that a pegboard back there, or what is that?
It's a grid wall.
A grid wall.
Yeah, let me turn it back around.
I'm looking over here because I've been purging downstairs and I found 4 huge sections of grid wall from when I used to go to trade shows. That would be perfect.
And then she made little shelves for my bins so I could get rid of those tall things.
Oh, and look at how organized. Oh my gosh, we're loving this. All of your stabilizer. How did you get that grid wall to stay up there? How far away from the wall do you have it? About an inch or so?
It comes with these clamps. Let me see if I can zero in.
Oh, I think I need to buy some of those clamps.
It came with the grid wall when I ordered it.
Oh,
I ordered it through a catalog commercial place.
all right.
So yeah, so I even got to put some pictures up now, and I covered the wood with vinyl. So this is a vinyl thing, and it's got a nice wooden edge on it. So yeah, so that's my new project.
It's gorgeous. What do you all think?
Woo!
I love other sewing spaces. It's inspiring. And all those dresses. Oh my gosh. When is the wedding?
The wedding is October 25th.
Okay. Oh, October is a great month. That's when I got married.
Me
At
too.
the beginning of the month. I know. It's like not fishing season.
And it's going to be cool. And I think she's going to have it out by the lake. There's this little place that's, there's a little island, a tiny island with a gazebo on it and a bridge.
Oh,
cute.
That's going to be very nice. Oh, I can't wait to keep updated on pictures. Everyone's saying, you couldn't read all the comments, but everybody's saying, I love it. I love it. Oh, I do too, Julie. I'm trying to declutter and organize. That grid wall would be perfect.
It is. And
it
it comes with these little hooks too. Let me switch it back. It came with all of these hooks.
Oh, yeah. So my hooks are longer, probably because they were in a trade show, but you can buy those separately too, of any different length.
Yeah, and I got this basket. I could use some longer of these hooks because the magnetic hoops are fat.
Yeah.
But the skinny ones are fine. There's the knee lifters.
I love it.
There's my silly bowls.
Beautiful.
Little crack in it, little elephant.
So organized. Hey, Annie, I see your question about the masterclass for the Luminaire. Do you want to send me a message? Because it is not free with the machine anymore, but you can get it from your brother dealer. But if you want to message me, I can give you some more details on that. So it is still there. It's just not free anymore, but you can get it at a very discounted rate from your dealer. So you can either message me on Facebook or email me. There's our websites below, brothersews.com, angelawolf.com. Just click on contact me and I'll help you any way I can. Brother gives so much good information, tutorials, the books that they come out with, the tutorials with the live videos. Kim, we've been doing this for how many years? If you want to see some great refashioning, go back and watch Kim's episodes on YouTube because everybody loved them. Everybody wants their jacket. One last question for you before we go. Did your dog rip up the jean thing finally, or is it still here?
It's gone. As he got older, he figured out how to untie the knots.
Oh boy.
And then he was getting, like, when he went to the bathroom, there were strings. You know what I mean?
Oh.
It was nasty. So that's it.
Okay, yeah. TMI. So that's kind of like when my mom's dog ate a bunch of chocolates that come in silver wrappings. I won't say the brand because it's not brother. And the whole yard looked like Christmas. Oh gosh, everybody's saying thank you for a great show. Well, hopefully we'll give you a good laugh at the end and your dog's not doing the same thing. So no. I agree. So the big question of the day is, Julie said, now do I want pegboard or do I want grid wall? We'll have to bring that up on Thursday and take a vote.
Yeah, I think pegboard, you have to paint it. That's my only thing.
Yeah, and
you have to extend it out from the wall so the thingies can go in. We have that in the attic. But I like the grid wall because you can still see through it. It's a little airier. That's my opinion. I don't know.
I like it. I'm going to go bring mine up right now. I have 4 panels of black, except my walls are gray. But they'll match fine. I think it'll look great. I'll let you know.
It'll be fine. We're just the ones that are going to see it, right?
Right. Well, thank you again, Kim. Everyone, thank you for being here. We had a ton of people on today's live show on Facebook and YouTube. I think you broke 100 today, Kim. They love to see what you're working on. So, and that's just live. So you won't believe all the people that watch the replay. If you're watching the replay, leave your comments and questions. Brother Social checks them out. And if they can't answer them, they send them over to us. So until next time, enjoy.
Bye.
Happy sewing, everyone.